everyone, welcome. It's me, Carol from Practical Mystic. Glad you joined me today. As always, I am continuing our series on the date of birth on any month. We look at the meaning, the vibrational tone, the aspects. Today we are looking at birthday number 16. It has lots of information. It's a fascinating, complex day of birth, and we'll get started immediately, making sure you can see this on your monitor. Okay, follow along with me. For those born on the 16th day of any month, here are all your planets, which also refer to the esoteric planets. We have Neptune, Venus, and the Sun. The astrological signs are Pisces and Libra. The elements are water and air. Pisces is water, Libra is air. The energy is both male and female, known as yin-yang. It is positive, negative, and another way of looking at it is the yin is receptive and the yang is active. The challenge, which we always discuss at the end of these videos, is going to be a 5. Please note, all double digits day of birth add emphasis to the life path number. So knowing your life path number when you are interpreting this day of birth is very important, as well as other components which I will refer to as we continue. Okay, number 16 is considered to be a karmic number. Now, this is our third out of the 4 numbers that numerologists considered have karmic tendencies, karmic aspects, challenges. For the 16, it is illicit love affairs. And again, we'll get a little bit more in depth in that when we move on with the information for this very interesting day of birth. Okay, this number combination withholds great power and potential. Now, how that power is used and for what purpose is the key to working through the challenges and lessons the individual most often will encounter throughout life. Therefore, the individual will profit most when he or she is aware of the choices that they make and the emotional energy behind their choices, which in turn motivates them to act and react. It's almost like a knee-jerk reaction for the 16th individual. Let's talk about the karmic debts. This karmic test lesson is one of acquiring faith and letting go of fear. The complex scope and stipulations of the relationship of that statement will become more apparent as the individual turns towards spiritual understanding more than material achievement. Learning to trust their intuitive side of their nature. By that I mean the balanced water of this energy, and not negate those insights through analytical reasoning, which is their air element. And it's often based around past negative program. That's that karmic connection that is explored a little deeper with the elements that are prominent for the 16, which is water and air. And if we understand what those meanings are, water is always emotional, air is thinking, reasoning, and analytical. Let's continue. This, again, is the karmic test. The 16th day of birth individual greatest lesson is in areas of past karmic family relationships and ties. Some with this number are overly cautious, somewhat gullible, and overly sensitive to others' opinions, while others become contrarians and find safety by attempting to control situations, people, and events around them. Peace and harmony within and around them are usually achieved when they overcome the many facets of fears, and I can't emphasize that enough. And just some of them are the fear of rejection, failure, and incompetence. Instead, turn their attention and energy to promoting self-love and acceptance. I have to tell you that I have a personal family member who is born on the 16th day and is a Pisces. So you can see that I have lived with this individual for a long, long time. A 16-7 day of birth, as you can already see, is complex. As with all day of birth numbers, we must take the rest of the individual star chart into consideration for final analysis. Again, this is very important. One outstanding aspect to this day of birth is a deep connection to family and home. That's a given because of the number 6. 6 is in numerology just by itself is called the friendly number. It's called the family number. Therefore, a crucial part of their personality will be shaped by the conditions surrounding the family dynamics, education, and personal growth. The 16th individual needs proper nurturing, and if born under a water sign, which are Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio, both parents have an equal important role in shaping these sun or rising sign offsprings. Now, I'm also going to give you a little bit more information concerning my years of study, but what I want to share with you here right away is from a numerology standpoint. This is what has been known and certainly what I have experienced with those that I've counseled, and again, within my own family dynamics. The girls tend to have more of a need for a strong father figure. And that's very instrumental in their shaping and understanding and balancing this karmic number. The boys, on the other hand, need a very strong, healthy mother figure. So the boys tend to navigate and take from the influence and nurturing of the mother, and the girls from the father. Okay, through my years of study and working with clients, I have found that the 16 individual needs a mother who is demonstrative and showing love and care, understanding the sensitivity of these children, and makes it safe for them to be who they are. A father who is interactive and guiding more than stern and authoritative. If there is lack of attention, healthy boundaries, and nurturing love bestowed on the child, often they will seek it early on elsewhere. All right, let's break down the number of the 16-7. Now remember that when we study numerology, the number on the right is the most potent and instrumental than the number on the left, but they share a union in expression. Ultimately, we will also define the personality by looking at the number 7, which is the combination of the two core numbers, 16. A 16-7 day of birth in any month is a number vibration of a 6, and that indicates balance, nurturing, and understanding at its best, working through the consciousness of the one, which is always about individuality, your independence, your self-image, who you are. And it's by learning the true meaning of love and its commitments. A solid base of self-esteem and purpose is a gold mine for this number vibration. The 6 must establish a workable, balanced lifestyle that is pleasing, manageable to both self and those that they form relationships with. Flexibility and the willingness to see outside their own lens needs. And this is a conditioning from past experience that they bring back from other lifetimes. The conditioning, of course, is from the family that is part of their upbringing and their nurturing. So in order to achieve permanency in their life, these are taken into consideration and shown the flexibility and willingness for the 16-7 to say, okay, I understand that I have this tendency, and I understand that I have this conditioning from my nucleus family, my upbringing, the authority figures, my education, and I have to take all that into consideration if I want to have, to be happy, to form healthy boundaries, to understand myself, and to see others properly. Okay, the visions and intentions that they have for themselves and others are usually honorable, centered around giving and receiving. They seek stability in others as a way to create it for themselves. They project a lot. As friends and employees, they will give you the shirt off their back, working hard to succeed and show their numerous skills and talents. There is a natural and sincere yearning in them to be a helpmate for those they love and offer a service or give guidance to those around them. Doing things for others is crucial in how they feel about themselves for many 16-7s. Depending on the life path number, they prefer to work alone. Many find technical and diagnostic trades appealing. Another important factor to consider is the numbers and planets that give grounding and stabilizing qualities to this vibration. So we're going to look at those. As previously shown, both water and air elements lack lasting conformity. Water always takes on the container. It usually moves. If it doesn't, it becomes stagnant. And air, the same quality, even more so. Air is always moving. So having earth planets like Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, and or numbers that are earth 1, 4, and 8 help these individuals in achieving greater consistency, less procrastination, restlessness, and of course, changeability. So we look in their complete chart for these grounding vibrations, qualities in the planets. Of course, an astrologer would also see where the houses are, but even the complete date of birth, the number of 1s, 4s, and 8s. Let's combine this energy of 1 and 6, which equals 7. The 7 vibration corresponds to the planet Neptune and the sign Pisces. That's water. When doing charts for individuals with the 16th day of birth, this planet and zodiac sign are usually very important to their personal chart or in the family and partnership charts. So if you don't find it in them, you may find it in a family or sibling or a spouse or children's and the partnerships that they form, lasting partnerships. Where you find Neptune, now this is for everybody, this is astrology. Where you find Neptune in your chart can point to where and how you deceive yourself and others. It can also give you the place where you seek to understand the paradigms in your life. Neptune, that is considered, these are some key words, spirituality and escapist urges. The higher octave of Venus, that's what Neptune is. So we know that both play into the number 16. Venus, as well as the sign Pisces, and the planet Neptune comes from the number 7. Now, this connects the individual to past lives and the karmic responsibilities for this lifetime, because Pisces is the 12th house and it is properties of karmic. It's also the house of self-undoing, but it's also the opposite of that. This is where your gifts lie if you choose to find them. If you go through the illusion and use the Venus, the self-love, the nurturing, and go to the higher octave of the spirituality that Neptune can offer you. Its gifts to you this lifetime is its higher intuitive ability and inner knowing that cannot be logically explained or identified in tangible ways. It is the catalyst of refinement and change for the 16-7. Neptune dissolves through the use of one's higher mind, human spirit, to transcend the physical. Now here's the challenge of the number 5 connected. Now remember, the number 5 is our challenge when we subtract 6 from 1. We're going to be discussing that here shortly. But here we find that that number 5 plays in through the urge of the senses, because the 5 senses, it corresponds to the number 5. And the sensitivity of these sensory perceptions to seek experience beyond the physical world. This is the escapist. This is where we zone out, whether we do it with a substance, Neptune, individuals, high Neptune individuals will sometimes get caught up in the world of drugs, altered states of consciousness, which, if not controlled, can become addictive. Neptune stimulates the emotional, which they already have, that water, but it's also that spirit. That's the key. And the nervous system, which is their air and their mind. Our thoughts create reactions in our body, and that is quickly felt, and that is the response in the individual with this energy of the number 7. So as you can surmise, the 7, which is a hidden aspect of the number 16, you don't know it's there until you add it through. 6 and 1 is 7. It can be a friend or a foe. A reminder of the importance of having a balanced and structured lifestyle with healthy coping skills in order to best utilize the qualities of the 7 vibration, which can be magical. All right, occupations. All hands-on careers and vocations. The quick mind and fast learning abilities make them capable of any work that requires precision. Many enjoy investigative work. Musical talents with voice and playing instruments. Music is often a medium for escaping and or calming the senses, the mind. They make technicians, they're good in military, construction, officers, guards, caregivers, social workers, great organizers, managers, and politicians. And you see immediately that they like the role of being able to do their thing, be in control, make the laws, define the structures. So the challenge, the five challenge is to accept change, overcome inertia, and utilize their many potentials and gifts in constructive ways. Number 5 is working to bring additional opportunity and options to the individual, to encourage one to seek beyond the status quo and ignite the creative faculties to achieve balance. Now, when I say to encourage one to seek beyond the status quo, this is when the person is conditioned and reacts in the way that is self-detrimental. That is that knee-jerk reaction. That is that emotional fear, instead of looking for options and ways to change. The emphasis is on a willingness to make uncomfortable changes. The individual is here to learn how to properly manage his five senses and emotional nature. Now, when I say the 5 senses, you can see where they have a fine-tuned hearing for music, smell. They're very visual. They're observant. They catch things. The taste of food, the smell of food, the touching and sensation of the hands on the body. For the 16, these are all emphasized, fine-tuned. There is usually a conflict between heart and mind. What the individual seeks to obtain within his or her own needs and the needs of others. And the question I usually ask them is, what makes me feel safe and loved? And then try to explain that where it is a give and take for all concerned. Another challenge of the 5 is adjusting to the limitations life imposes on them. Depending on the rest of the chart, there is a strong need to be free, have freedom, and have personal power. Astrologically, number 5 is related to the planet Mercury, which of course is air, so that adds to the thinking, the reasoning, the evaluation, the analyst. If the individual's senses, and that may not be accurate, remember there's a lot of karma, a lot of past conditioning, a lot of shadow, or is given certain limitations, restrictions, or directions, some will resist. They'll be suspicious and may become quite irritable and defensive. Zodiac signs that would influence this tendency even more are Gemini, Leo, Aquarius, and Aries. Again, please look at the complete chart. One solution to this tendency is through the art of good communication skills. For the 16-7, that is not always easy to achieve or comfortable to engage in because there is that immediate reaction. Therefore, it is often suggested that they sit down, calm down, and begin the process of writing out thoughts, needs, and feelings. Writing can be a crucial step in alienating growing conflict and hopefully prevent the possibility of inertia within the 16-7 individual and those you are having trouble with. Now, if it isn't in writing, it can also be in art. It can also be in music. Many beautiful music composition have been through the torments of the heart, the challenges of life. So these are mediums that the 16-7 can express themselves, be understood, feel like it is being displayed openly and not within them, locked in, that would cause them to shut down and break down. So yes, friends, this is a very interesting, complex day of birth. As I said earlier, it is the third of 4 karmic numbers. I hope that you find something to relate to here. I'm always interested in your thoughts and comments. Let me know what you think. I appreciate your time and sharing of your individual journey if you are a 16. Thanks, everyone. Many blessings. Bye for now.